I rise for the 8th time to call this entire body to have the opportunity to vote and consider the Military Justice Improvement and Increasing Prevention Act. This common sense reform would ensure that people in the military who have been subjected to sexual assault and other serious crimes get the justice they deserve. I ask for this vote because I want to ensure that this important reform, which is backed by a bipartisan, filibuster-proof majority of the senators, becomes law. If we leave this debate and this reform to the National Defense Authorization Committee review, I have no doubts that that will not happen. We all know how a bill becomes a law. It passes the Senate and the House and is signed by the President. And we all know how this process can be subverted. We have seen popular provisions that have passed both the House and the Senate be minimized, watered down, or removed in conference altogether. And I've certainly seen good proposals killed behind closed doors of the NDAA markup. In 2019, I introduced a much smaller reform called Safe to Report. That provision was designed to improve reporting rates by allowing survivors of sexual assault to report the assault without fear of retaliation in the form of misconduct charges for related minor offenses, things like underage drinking or breaking a curfew. That common sense reform, which could have allowed more survivors to come forward, passed in both the House and the Senate, but it was removed in conference. We had to reintroduce the very same bill the following year in order for it to be included and become law in the next year, the fiscal year 2021 NDAA. If a program focused solely on helping make it easier for survivors to report their assault was removed in conference, I have little reason to believe that this once-in-a-generation reform will survive. Given the lack of progress we've made on sexual assault in the military and the entrenched problems with the military justice system, we cannot allow this widely supported reform to be left to the whims of those working behind closed doors in conference, a process with a rich history of subverting reforms on behalf of the Department of Defense. Let us have this vote in the Senate, and let us send it to the House to become law. Every day we delay this vote is another day we deny justice to the survivors of sexual assault. We deny justice to service members who have been affected by serious crimes. We deny justice to the men and women who do so much for this country. We owe it to them to not wait another minute longer. As if in legislative session, I ask unanimous consent that at a time to be determined by the Majority Leader, in consultation with the Republican leader, the Senate Armed Services Committee be discharged from further consideration of S-1520, and the Senate proceed to its consideration. That there will be 2 hours for debate, equally divided in the usual form, and that upon the use or yielding back of that time, the Senate vote on the bill with no intervening action or debate.